Back to the XandO Sports Show. I'm your host, Ricky G. Stanley. And, happy 4th of July to everybody that celebrates it. It was a good one. Got to light some fireworks. Had a good time. Got some good food. Tonight, we're going to start off with a little bit of football. I said we're going to start off with a little bit of football. We had some mini camps that were going on, so I got a chance to watch a few of them. One player that I was excited about in a mini camp, he got bit by the injury bug at least once or twice in his career already. So his name is Derwin James. He plays for the Chargers. I want to say, off the top of my head, I think he came out of Florida State. Nice rangy safety, got some good speed. He's a little thicker than normal to play free safety, but he can hit, he can cover. So I feel like he is a prototypical free safety for this era. Like I said, the injury bug kind of got him, a little bit twice. But I think this is going to be his breakout year. He had, I want to say, an MCL surgery last year that kind of kept him out. He ain't play exactly great, so it's kind of a good year, I guess, to hold him out, get him totally healthy. But good news is I did notice that he did not wear a brace or a strap on that leg, so you really can't tell which leg he's favoring. Coming in and out of his breaks was very fluid. He had good movement, good range. So, Derwin James, I hope you're having a good mini camp leading to a regular camp that goes into the season. Like I say, you should have fresh legs. One rookie that did stand out to me in the mini camps was J.C. Horn. Like I say, he looked pretty good and he looked very locked in at the Panthers mini camp. I think he's like 6'2", 200 pounds. Like I said, he's a good size playing corner. He's a little on the bigger side. He probably would play cover 2 if he played in in the 90s or early 2000s. But like I said, he can run, so it's going to be very interesting how they use him in their techniques. So, J.C. Horn, got my eye on you and got you on my list. Also, the diva / receivers. Most of them, their mini camps look pretty good. Like I said, I picked on one guy just because he had a drop. Like I said, most of the time I monitor receivers of how they catch the ball. So if they're able to pluck it out of the air without it touching their body, shows like their strength in their hands and how good they can catch. A lot of guys, they catch, bringing it to their body. That makes a difference when you're getting hit in traffic, whether that ball is going to come out. Because if it hits your pads and they hit your pads, the ball's going to come out. So if you have good, strong hands, most of the time you got about a 65% chance of holding on to it if you catch it with your hands and you get hit. But, in the NFL, you still get hit, but not like you used to. So I think they're okay. But the guy I picked on was Jamar Chase. Caught a lot of good balls, but he dropped a slant. I'm looking like, really? I feel like no receiver to get paid should drop a pass, but he's human. I'll just being tick for tack. But I said all of them look pretty good. Nice fluid movement. So today I'm starting this new segment called Bold Statement. It's what I classify as a bold statement, in my opinion. However, the statement I make has like an asterisk or exclaimer to make it a bold statement. So the first one, drum roll please. Today's first bold statement is, I will take Brandon Lloyd's hands over Odell Beckham's hands. Yes, let that sit in. For you guys to go back and watch a little bit of film, Brandon Lloyd had hands. He didn't have the illustrious career that Odell Beckham has had before injuries, but he had very good hands. And if you get a chance, go to my Instagram page and you look at either my story or the videos I posted. This guy could catch the football. He was playing for, I want to say he started out with the 49ers. He had Jeff Garcia and those guys throwing to us. So, we ain't got no Tom Brady's of the world throwing to him. And this guy had some hands. I remember by the time I figured out who he was, I watched him at the 49ers, but I didn't know who he was until he really got to the Broncos. I was like, oh, okay. When I saw him catching passes from Tim Tebow that was way off, I was like, okay, this dude can catch. So like I said, my first bold statement is, and I love the Odell Beckham fans, they're going to come after me and say, well, no, his hands ain't better. Go look at it and make a decision for yourself. Not off fame and your favorite player. I want you to go look at what Brandon Lloyd did catching the football and look at Odell Beckham. I said, I'll take Brandon Lloyd's hands. So it has nothing to do with athleticism or how fast they both are, or how good one can dance. This is strictly off I'd rather take his hands over Odell's. First bold statement. All right. So, no bringing speed or other stats into this. Who had a better career? We're talking about hands. So, my Instagram page is XandOSports. That's the Instagram page as of stories, as well as a couple of video posts. My second bold statement today. You guys ready? I will take Richard Kevin Sherman over Darrelle Revis inside of the Seattle Seahawks defensive scheme. I would take him over Darrelle Revis. Notate, I said inside of the defensive scheme. I know you guys are like, well, he didn't rotate, but guess what? That's how he played on. He locked down. Ain't nobody really catch the ball on him like that. The guy was a beast, like I said. But for the Darrelle Revis fans that want to, debate about it, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. I like it. I'm here for all the smoke. So, those are my two bold statements for today. Each week, or I might try to do it once a week because I'm going to go dig and find some history and compare like some older players to newer players, or just two newer players against each other. So, hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments how you felt about the bold statements. Next topic, the Olympics. If you guys been watching my last couple of videos, you know how I felt about Olympics. Very excited. One of the people I wanted to watch, he got banned for a year, so he'll be in the World Games. So he'll be able to, retain his title, hopefully. However, Sha'Carri Richards, unfortunately, is banned. She got a 1-month ban. And some people wanted to ask me, how did I feel about it? Well, unless she is getting some type of financial gain or income for running the relays, I wouldn't strap them up for the relays either. If you're going to ban me from the 100-meter sprint, I ain't doing the 4x1 relay with nobody. I'm not doing it. I know she want to do it for our country. You're young. You can still do it again. But I feel like if you're going to ban me entirely. I would not strap up to do anything. Because the fact that I understand, first of all, I'm not taking anything away from the rules. She had rules. She broke them. By all means, ban her. Suspend her. Do whatever you have to do. But let's be realistic now. They are starting to make marijuana more legal in more states. And if I'm not mistaken, the state that she resides in is actually legal. I'm not taking anything and say, hey, she shouldn't be banned or shouldn't be reprimanded or anything like that. But they found THC in her urine sample. Okay. What I would look for is anything that gives her a competitive advantage. Is it any type of steroid? Is it any type of performance enhancing? That's what I'm testing for. We're talking about weed, marijuana, THC. And she did say she did it. So I understand that. But the fact that, they banned her, okay, I understand. But y'all got to be kidding me. This is like the NBA championship of the Olympics. Well, I said NBA championship of track. Because you only have the Olympics every 4 years. You got like the world meetups like every year up until then. So I was like, I wouldn't say give her a pass, but I'm looking like, geez, man, this is bad timing. I did read on something, and I had to check myself because it was a emotional decision for me to make that statement to someone. I felt like, and I had to check myself because I was wrong. I felt like Michael Phelps got in trouble for the same thing, but I actually did the research and found several articles, and it was actually false. So Michael Phelps actually did. So he didn't get tested positive for any THC or weed. He never got popped anything through a drug test. He got caught because somebody leaked a picture of him at a party hitting the bong. So, he was like, well, he didn't serve a suspension. Actually, he did. He served 90 days. And he lost his Kellogg endorsement. For people that, the only thing that Nike pays, Kellogg actually paying pretty good money. I'm not going to put his business out to how much he lost. But he did lose out on money. And he did get suspended for 90 days. This will happen at the timing. It fell between after the Olympics and before the World Championship. So, Michael Phelps actually did not get off the hook. And whoever leaked that picture should be ashamed of themselves. because it's on YouTube and kids may be watching this, I'm going to keep it very clean. But I felt like that was stupid, and people only reported him because of personal or financial gain. I feel like you get nothing out of reporting the most famous athlete at the time for smoking weed. So, THC, weed, however you want to call it. Like I said, but unfortunately, Michael Phelps didn't get, reprimanded while actually partaking in the Olympics. They said they didn't catch him then. They drug tested him. Everything came back fine. So, I made that statement to someone. I was like, well, how did they let Michael Phelps off? I would apologize to them. And I was like, hey, I was wrong. Because I try to make myself credible off of facts. So if I was wrong, I would say I am. I'm not going to spill fake news out there and try to stand behind it. No, that's not what I like to do. But up next, the NBA Finals. I have to say both of my predictions were absolutely wrong. Both of them were terrible. I had the Lakers coming out of the West because, like I said, I didn't fear the Suns or Denver. I was like, they're playing cute, but neither one of them are going to make it. But then I kind of changed it once the Lakers lost. I was like, well, we don't have enough to get there. Okay, we're going to lose. I felt like Denver was supposed to win it. And I was like, you know what? I feel like that kid he's coming. And he got banged up. He didn't make any excuses, which I did like. I think he'll be back next year. He'll be back, and I'll watch him. But the Suns, hey, hats off to you, CP3. I've been watching you a long time since you dropped those 66 points coming out of Wake Forest. I'm a diehard Laker fan. I feel like you should have been a Laker. But the NBA blocked that trade, which is malarkey. Terrible, atrocious, asinine. All those Stephen A. Smith words. I felt like that was terrible, and it cost the Lakers a championship and possibly you a championship early in your career. You playing with Kobe, oh my goodness, we would have definitely hit a ring. But, we're not going to cry over spoiled milk. However, Devin Booker and CP3 are playing great as a unit, and their entire unit showed out. As for the Bucks, they passed the Hawks, but I feel like that would have been a different story if Trae Young was not banged up. I feel like he could have beat the Hawks if he was 100%. I don't think he would have won a series, but they at least went to Game 7. And like I said, I could watch in his shot. For people to be like, oh, well, they would have lost anyway. His shot was way different. It was flat, had no range on it. And he did make plays as a playmaker, but he's a scorer. And he had 13 points and several assists, but I'm just like, that's not his game. But I'm glad he was out there and he did give it a shot, because I blamed Giannis for them getting beat bad against the Heat last year because I felt like he quit. He hurt his ankle, and I'm like, dude, you didn't break it. You twisted your ankle. Okay, you can go out there, you can play in the post or just be a decoy for your team. And I feel like he quit on this team last year. That's my personal opinion. So the fact that Trae Young strapped his shoes on is like, hey, I'm going to give it everything I got. Even though you lost, I'm okay with that. You'll be back. As long as you're healthy, you'll be back, and they're going to have to deal with you. Like I said, everybody's like, well, they don't really have a shot because the 76ers are still there. The Celtics are still there. Who else is there? The Nets are still there. The Knicks are still there. It's all about games that are being played. That is all speculation. I feel like the Hawks, what they showed us this year, if they played the way they did this year and next year, I have them as the fourth best team. I don't have them against the Nets just off of talent, but I feel like they could beat the Knicks anytime they choose. I feel like they'll split with Boston. If they have Boston has Brown, I feel like they could beat the Hawks in a 7-game series, but it'll take 7 games. 76ers, I think they'll beat the bricks off them. This is because of they're going to play 4 against 5. So that's just my personal opinion. But the Bucks, I feel like if Giannis is not healthy, this is going to get ugly. I feel like it could go to 7 games if Giannis plays. I feel like the Bucks have the advantage with size. They have long, rangy guys. I feel like they can use their size to their advantage, and they will have to slow this game down. They may have to play a half-court type of offense. Middleton is pretty good at that from what I see. Excuse me, but Giannis loves to go downhill, downhill, downhill. My brother, you may have to get a post move or two. Put Brook Lopez at the 5, and y'all go big. The thing is, will Brook Lopez be able to get out there on a shooter? No. But if you slow that game down, then they're going to have to defend Brook Lopez. And that young man that plays center for the Suns, he ain't going to be able to guard both them animals out there. So, like I said, I feel like this is going to be a good matchup. And I'm looking forward to these two coaches playing chess versus each other. I think it's going to be 7 games, but I don't know who's going to win. So I'll make my prediction after game 1, which is tomorrow. Yes, well, it's 12 o'clock now. So it'll be today. They'll play Tuesday night. I'll make my prediction after the first game. It won't be because of who matches up. I want to see who's healthy and who's not, and then I'll make my prediction. And I actually go as far as how many games it will be. But, I'll make my prediction next time. But as for time, this is mine. And until next time, I'm your host, Ricky G. Stanley, and I am out of here.